All right, good morning, everybody. I am so happy, I am so grateful to have you here. My name is Dargin, for those of you who don't know me, and I call myself a gratitude junkie. I've been living and breathing it for the past 15 years. You hear the words woo-woo, touchy-feely, yes, associates with gratitude, and that's what people think. So I'm here to convince you and tell you that gratitude belongs in business. Soft skills, it's what I've been teaching for the past 15 years, soft skills. Gratitude is a soft skill, and there's a real business ROI. There's real value to it for businesses. Reciprocity is the key to influencing without authority. Lots of studies on it. That's not gratitude, though. Gratitude is, I'm going to repeat, it's the appreciation, the acknowledgement, the being seen, the giving without expecting something back. This is specifically research. I studied over 100 papers and websites and links, and I do have access to research logs on gratitude. And I just put some highlights here. First of all, we know from all of our wonderful brain, brilliant people here, there's two sides of the brain, right? The right and the left. Here's the really key thing is that when you are in this negative side of I can't do it, things aren't going well, survival, flight or fright, you can't be grateful, you can't be mindful. There's physically a divide there. They're two separate parts. When people are in the state of gratitude, here are some of the results, and these are really conservative. The numbers are really higher if you look at the studies. Of the top quarter of the engaged workers, they have 70% less safety issues, 40% less quality issues, 41% lower absenteeism, higher sales, higher productivity. And what's even more astounding, the top 1 to 3% of engaged workers, it's something like 7 times. It's a dramatic difference in profitability and productivity. It's incredible. It's like, how can you not bring engagement in? 75% leave a company because of a bad manager or a negative, hostile environment, stress, overwhelm. So while we all may be incredibly grateful people, very few of us bring it into business. So that's my goal. Bring it more into business, because when you bring it into business, you get incredible results. People want to be seen, they want to be acknowledged, they want to be appreciated. When you are in that positive, grateful brain state, creativity and innovation occurs. You physically cannot be creative, open, and innovative when you're in the negative place. And there's all sorts of studies on that too. Gratitude produces and creates creativity, innovation, which leads to engagement and productivity. If someone is incredibly negative, ranting and raving and arguing and yelling, and you can't say, hey, what are you grateful for? That doesn't work. But if you bring them down slowly, you can eventually shift them over to a place of gratitude where they can be creative and innovative to solve problems and become productive. So the challenge is to reduce that time of the negativity to get people to the positive in teams and groups. It's like, well, I have my health, I have my friends, I have my family, I have, looking at the positive rather than the negative. I think someone said earlier, what you focus on expands. When you focus on what you have instead of what you don't have, it expands. Another definition of gratitude too. Gratitude does that right away when bad behavior happens. What I'm proposing is, how fast can we get to gratitude? Gratitude is mindfulness. It's calming, it's inspiring, it's motivating. It focuses us to look on what we have, not on what's missing. And deal with those bad behaviors, deal with a $3 million loss, deal with what happened from a point of gratitude rather than negativity, because it's more creative, it's more innovative. Okay, so let's talk through the scenario here. Fight, freeze, flight, or gratitude. So think of your situation now. Go back to your situation. We're going to do a little analysis here. It can sometimes move you from negative to positive. Changes emotions, changes all sorts of stuff. I think it's 5 to 1. 5 to 1 positive words or actions will indicate success in a marriage or success in a team, a high-performing team. The positive to negative ratio, basically keeping people more on the positive side of the brain than the negative. Put it in your performance reports. Once a year, companies generally do performance reports. How did they show appreciation? Measure it. Okay? Publicly state it, make it a core value, and make it part of your culture. And in businesses, if you can't measure it, it's not real, right? There were 5 measurements. So you can follow along with this and do your own measurement. How intensely do you feel gratitude? I would contend not everybody feels it at that, I'm going to cry, I'm going to burst, my heart's so full. Not everybody has that level of intensity. Down to just, that's nice, so there's a level. You know, you could rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Frequency, how often? How many times in a day are you grateful for something? This is the first time I've given this presentation live rather than on the webinar where no one can see me. I'm kind of coming out of the closet with gratitude in business. So I want your feedback. I'm happy to follow up. And I still do the webinars because every time I do a webinar, I get anywhere from 1 to 10 people that show up and we have a great conversation about their stories in gratitude. So I'm going to deputize you all to be my gratitude warriors. Will you do that? Can you all be my gratitude warriors?
Most definitely.
Yes? Raise your hand and swear. Attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is a choice. Swear on it. So thank you for being my first gratitude warriors. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.